Thank God.
And
Hello, Pebbles across all platforms. Welcome to the Edits Podcast, episode 59. Today
yep,
is like a semi special theme, which Stone will explain because I kind of forgot it already.
it's drunk stories because tomorrow is St. Patty's Day.
No, it's
Um,
tomorrow. But we
okay,
can hear you, Rabbit. That's
yeah.
nice. Oh well,
You're all talking. I can't
audio
hear
issues.
Um,
anything. 1 second.
Anyways,
I'll be right.
you talk.
anyways, so yes, let me show what's for lunch today.
It looks like some cheesy meat and a side I cannot name.
A pork chop with garlic butter, um, and some
Oh,
cornbread.
okay. No cheese, Sag.
Um, I've never tried cornbread with cheese before. Excuse my feet in the picture as well.
You'll end up on YouTuber's feed wiki or something.
Right?
Oh, now I can hear.
Also, hey
Oh,
Rabbit, can you hear us now? Hey Squirrel. Cool.
There it is.
okay.
Progress.
Yeah,
So,
I just had to
the
redo my
topic
connection.
today is, like I said, drunk stories because it's St. Patty's Day tomorrow, and getting drunk is just, especially on St. Patty's Day, is interesting. I love how the day has just become about getting drunk because because Irish. um, yeah, it's like you wear green and talk about leprechauns and pots of gold, but nah, it's just about getting drunk. Especially as you get older. What'd you say?
Well, I'll drop it up
Mm-hmm.
pure,
A
never
good
hurt
Irish
none.
accent there.
I'll drop it up pure, never hurt none of ya.
Anyways, shall I start with the first drunk story?
Yay.
Okay. So my biggest drunk story, and oddly enough, it did take place on St. Patrick's Day as well, and it was happened to line up with my spring break in college as well. So I go to my brother's college town of Fort Collins. He was in college too at the time, and that Saturday, it's St. Patrick's Day weekend, and we just decide to party it up. We just decide to get fucking wasted. And so not only did we decide to get wasted on alcohol, we decided to get really like high on drugs too. So we drank all the alcohol and did all the drugs. um
That sounds like a combo of a lifetime.
yeah, it was a big combo.
Was your
Needless to say,
head okay after that?
I mean, the hangover the next day was like the worst hangover ever.
I
Um,
bet.
yeah, but I think I drank like 4 Irish car bombs, and huh?
Gosh.
Yeah, and I did. I think
So
2 lines of
I'm
cocaine
just like,
actually,
oh my gosh.
believe it or not. Um, and I had like a weed gummy as well, so I was all kinds of inebriated. um,
Damn. If I didn't have such an aversion to like anything that isn't uh just yeah, but I would actually try a weed gummy because it sounds like kind of yummy.
a lot of weed gummies really are just a chill high. You just kind of, you know, let yourself space out and just relax mostly. And it also really depends what you take. Um, Indica is the strain that lets you chill out. You just kind of, like I said, just kind of space out, veg and eat snacks. that's that's the weed gummy you take when you want to relax. Is just indica. But anyways, so the details of the night now are rather foggy because of just how much we drank and did. Um, but I remember waking up um, on the couch and then getting up every like hour to go puke.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was that fucking hungover and just done, and my stomach was like, "You are not letting anything in us until we get whatever you put in us out."
Dang.
It was a crazy weekend to say the least. We had planned to go snowboarding, but those plans were off the table at that point. So that was the craziest drinking weekend I had ever had in my life, and I don't think it'll ever get topped. It was nuts. Okay. So that's my crazy drinking story. Rabid, what's yours?
What?
I mean, I can do a back-to-backer, I guess. So, my 21st birthday was uh my 21st birthday was gonna fall when um when I was gonna be in Afghanistan. So,
Mm-hmm.
my squad leader decided it would be a good idea to celebrate it early. He said, "There's no way
Mm-hmm.
uh we're gonna do that. You're gonna turn 21 when we're downrange.
Okay.
That's BS." So, we decided to do it while I was 20. And, it's no biggie. And the Grey
Right.
Goose used to have like a 21-ounce glass bottle,
Dang.
frosted.
Of what again?
I had to finish the entire thing
Oh,
that
Damn.
night myself.
okay.
A 21-ounce Grey Goose vodka
Did you at least mix it with anything?
from the bottle.
Oh
So I
God.
was carrying that thing around the house party.
You
Oh
wanted to.
God.
No, I wasn't allowed to mix it. I wasn't allowed.
Ooh.
Yeah. Welcome to turning 21 in the military. It turns into a hazing ritual. It was great. But I got so drunk during that thing because aside from the 21, of course, I was getting so buzzed, and everyone else is also making drinks and going, "Hey, drink this. Hey, drink that." So I'm getting drinks shoved in my hand. We're playing King's Cup. We're playing uh, other games or whatever. It's all a blur. But I do remember um, that it was on a Thursday night, and then Friday morning we were off or whatever. Because we were getting extended weekends before we deployed. So we were getting like 3-day weekends, 4-day weekends, whatever, back to back to
Oh.
back. Friday morning, I wake up and I had an IV in my arm. And apparently, I had gotten so drunk that one of the other guys' girlfriends had gotten worried and she called her EMT buddy. The EMT buddy was on call. So he showed up with the ambulance,
Jesus.
came in with his partner, and they stuck me with an IV. So then apparently I had gone through the rest of the night. The two EMTs left. They came back and joined the party, and they showed me a video with me walking around with this rolling coat rack with the IV zip tied to the top of it, with the bottle in my other hand, rolling around the IV
Jesus.
on the coat rack in the other,
Wow.
drinking vodka with an IV hooked up in my arm.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a video I was traumatized by, and I told myself I would never drink again. But then, fast forward, I'm in Alaska. We went to a hockey match, and we met up with a couple of guys. We went to watch this college hockey match in Fairbanks, Alaska. Well, after Fairbanks Timberwolves, after the Lady Wolves won their game, it was like regional championships or whatever. We go to one of the local bars in Fairbanks, in the college town, and it turned out that the hockey players, the girls were there celebrating. So we're like, hey, this is awesome. The hockey players are here. They're celebrating. So we're hanging out, we're drinking. And I wound up going back with the goalkeeper, with her. So I wound up going to the college campus dorms, and we were partying there. I woke up
Oh,
Monday
jeez.
morning because the game was on Sunday, late for PT, buck naked on the couch, where like just covered with one of those loose knit like Afghan blankets that are like loose and have little things and whatever on it. And this dude walks in, flaming, right? I looked at him and I got real worried. I went, oh no, what happened last night? He
Oh
looked at
god.
me with the most judgmental look on his face and said, "Oh, don't worry, honey. You didn't sleep with me." And he looked at he looked at me with the amount of judgment that I've never been judged so hard in my life. so so I was like, "Oh my gosh." But yeah, all my stuff was dressed and then I wound up going to PT later. But all the guys that had gone out and partied, yeah, we were tanked. So we made it on time, but leadership was like, you you guys
Mhm.
reek. So we're
Wow.
gonna go run. So we were sweating so bad we smelled like a brewery. It was it was absolutely disgusting after that. We weren't even hungover. We were still drunk by the point we were done with that. It was
Damn.
What?
that was one of the worst days ever. I didn't get that hangover
That is
get me until
crazy.
Tuesday.
What? Yeah.
That is some wicked hangovers. um, I know normally you're next, but Andy, you've been having to jet out of here earlier these days. Do you have any drunk stories? Oh, you don't drink at all? Oh, dang. You have a rather oh,
I just said
Good.
oh, no drunk stories for you, my love.
No, I don't drink.
Oh, true. Yeah, you have a high metabolism.
Nope.
No, I just have an enzyme in my liver that processes alcohol better.
Yeah, but yeah, the redhead gene, is that what it's called?
Oh,
Yeah,
redhead.
she has.
100%.
That's why she has to.
It's the same.
She has a
Same
high
one that
tolerance to
fights
like
anesthesia.
virtually all drugs.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'm in kind of the same boat as Andy nowadays.
Nice.
I've been sober
I have a single bottle of
7,
like
8, no,
tropical
9
fruit
years now.
cider in my pantry, and I haven't touched it yet because yeah, I haven't found the right like taste for it.
Or like occasionally drink it.
Yeah,
But I just want to get this straight, Andy. You not like? Do you have like drinks on like even holidays even? Like yeah. Do you have like drinks on holidays like New Year's Eve or anything?
like a champagne
Oh,
toast
dang.
or something.
Dang, not even champagne
Okay.
toasts. Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Talking to me?
Yep.
In
Nope.
that
That's
respect,
also
yes.
looking back on
Very
it.
much
I
so.
think Andy's probably the healthiest among us.
Nope.
Really.
Don't do any of that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Andy. You 100%
Yeah.
would
Mhm.
agree that you don't have to drink to have a good time, right?
Aw.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I mean that is
And
true.
I wish I
That's
had
like
learned that years
I think the main
ago.
reason St. Patty's Day even exists is to just drive up alcohol sales.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, for America for sure. I don't know how Ireland
It
itself
is.
celebrates it. I imagine they do. Yeah.
I can ask my my English
Yeah.
teacher tomorrow.
Would you What'd you say, Nate?
I could ask my English teacher tomorrow since, you know,
That'd be
he's
kind of
from
fun to know.
Ireland. Fun
Yeah.
fact, all of my like stable English teachers that I had in the school were from Ireland. So
Really?
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on that Emerald Island streak.
Aw.
Bleh.
That's weird.
Talk.
It's
It's not weird. It's,
just a weird coincidence. Just
yeah,
sort of an odd happenstance. But yeah, what St. Patrick's Day is actually about is about the St. Patrick who repelled snakes. Yeah.
Right. Well, we wouldn't even have a well, it's kind of funny. Stonestream, your
Yeah, ask a lot.
avatar that you use a lot when you're gaming comes from an anime involving the Vikings. And I think it's interesting. So we
Do
wouldn't
explain.
have a Saint Patrick if it were not for the Vikings.
Hey, lore.
So, as the story goes, before he became canonized, Patrick
Right.
was taken by Vikings as a slave. So when the Vikings took
Mhm.
him back, they actually took him away as a slave, and that was the beginning of his entire journey. So that is why he left initially and wound up going. So you have to think Ireland was a major target initially of the Viking raids in the very early stages. So the reason St. Patrick went back to Ireland
Right.
was because he had initially had to leave. So when he goes back at this point, like his faith has been restored and has been strengthened, so he's gone through all these trials and tribulations in slavery. He now goes back, and the driving out of the snakes. I like the analogy where there's no snakes in Ireland now because St. Patrick got rid of them all. Well, theologically, the pagans and the druids, those are the serpents. There's even a funny story where at one point St. Patrick might have been in Scotland at one point.
Yeah, there is that
to face
story.
off
And
against
it's
the
questionable
creature of
because
Ness.
yeah.
It's very questionable, but it's a fun story because it's in the near region, but it's interesting that
That
the
is weird.
Vikings somehow are connected to the St. Patrick story. Because he also shares the faith and Catholicizes several Vikings or Norse in the Scandinavian region before
That
he
is
ever
weird.
enters Ireland.
Although
What's that?
Though it's disputable when St. Patrick lived because, like, we're looking it up now, and it's like he lived sometime around like 500 AD, and the Vikings didn't come to the British Isles until like 800. So a lot of this is still also speculation, of course. Because, like, then again, that's like a lot of the stories are, because there's like, what exactly did they mean when they said Ivar the Boneless? Because History Channel, of course, makes their theory that he was paralyzed from the waist down. And it's like, that's one theory. And it's like, well, would his mother have enough mercy to actually take care of him? And that's another question entirely if that were the case. It's like most, like, even well-off women didn't oftentimes have enough mercy to take care of children who were paralyzed. You know?
When you said that, I mostly imagined
Yeah.
like boneless, like in a way that he was like very wiggly.
Well, again, like, the interpretation gets really fucky. And again, History Channel in their
Like
series on
strong.
Vikings, the dramatization that actually has really good acting, it's really up for question because, again, their interpretation is that he was paralyzed from the waist down, but it could mean anything. It could mean he was impotent. It could mean, any number of things. But Lady Stone showed me something. So, the St. Patrick's era, the patron saint of Ireland, is believed to have lived in the 5th century, during which he is credited with the spreading of Christianity throughout Ireland, and the Viking Age, characterized by seafaring and raiding activities, began in the 8th century and then lasted until the mid 11th century. So yeah, there's definitely a big
Gap. Yeah.
yeah, it's really just based on a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
like a couple
legends.
hundred years
You
when
know,
you look at the
so
historical record.
Everything was passed down orally, so it's like playing the telephone game with history.
yeah, it's oftentimes just playing a telephone game with history. It's just sort of, this probably didn't happen at all, how someone said.
Because St. Patrick is not from Ireland. He was actually Roman Britain,
Yeah,
and he was taken by Irish pirates to Ireland.
yeah. And
So-
somehow that got turned in some stories into Vikings and everything. So like I said, it's a big game of telephone, but either way, it ended up in a holiday where we get drunk and talk about leprechauns.
It's called the Feast of St. Patrick because they believed he died on March
And
17th. So in
we're so
Ireland,
thankful
they use
for it.
that as a day of festivities as thanks for not only spreading Christianity, but also ridding the Isle of Snakes.
Right? Yeah.
So, but for us, like I said, like Cinco de Mayo is not a day where we celebrate the liberty of Mexico. We just use it as an excuse to get drunk.
And eat Mexican food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Dia de los Muertos is probably something else as well, but it's also an excuse to eat those sugar skulls and everything. um, but anyways, we've gotten off the beaten track. Nate, your drunk story.
Luckily, I haven't experienced like anything close to what you guys did.
Go ahead.
My
Tell it anyway.
Huh? What?
Tell it anyway.
There's no such thing as a boring drunk story.
Everyone's drunk story is unique.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like, I have been drunk on at least 3 occasions that I can remember, maybe 4 actually.
Okay,
And
what's the one occasion where you believe was your most drunk?
most, um, probably the second one from my university.
Go for it.
Because I was like so drunk that I because we obviously well, we drank some stuff beforehand, the usual for me, ciders, some cocktail. Oh wait, actually 5 times. Anyways, and some cocktails, or I don't know if you can call juice with vodka a cocktail, but
That's a
it's two
cocktail.
drinks together and it tastes nice, at least to me. So yeah, drank that. Then we went into other room because my roommate had her friends there, and it was a party, a room party, I guess. And yeah, I was pretty drunk at that point, and I've gotten even worse, and it got like I just couldn't care, I guess, because then I also began drinking an entire 2-liter bottle of like this basically low quality beer that we have here. And it didn't even taste like beer to me. It was just just like water. So again,
Oh,
I kept drinking it, and I fucking finished it. I would never touch Branik while sober. And yeah, I ended up. What?
oh, I've seen that stuff.
Yeah, large 2-liter
Branik,
plastic
I know
bottle.
what that is. I've seen it.
That's
It
how
comes
you
in
know that the beer is like
that
what?
like a 40. It looks like a
What are you
40.
saying?
Yeah. Anything in a plastic bottle? No.
Yes, exactly. That's how you know it's like really like a beer
Anything in a
that's
plastic
really for the
bottle?
hecking
No.
desperate because yeah. But again, I drank it, then I and blah blah blah. Just I did some of the I drank some pure water as well, had a little snacky, brushed my teeth, went to bed, and then I woke up at I think it was like 4 a.m. sharp or something, went to the toilet, just had the most relieving vomit of all time. Just rinsed out my mouth, like brushed my teeth again, and had a glass of water and slept again.
Yeesh.
And a morning after that, no hangover.
Yeah,
I've
sometimes it
never
happens
gotten
that
a
way.
hangover in my life because I like to think that I drink responsibly. Like obviously I do have like some high fat snacks during that, and yeah, I keep I keep myself hydrated with pure water as well. So heck
High
yeah.
fat food definitely does absorb the beer or any alcohol, so it does prevent hangovers.
I am really happy that I didn't have a hangover after that because it would just feel even worse knowing that I drank 2 liters of branic plus some other stuff beforehand, and had a hangover from hacking that.
I mean, it happens.
Mm.
But yeah, that is a very I guess plastic. Really, beer in plastic bottles. That's just we don't have that here. We always sell our beer in cans or glass bottles. Unless have you seen any of that in plastic bottles, Rabbit, around here? Huh? Mickey's comes in plastic bottles.
Mickey's. Oh yes, I've seen Mickey's. And
What?
where is
You
it?
mean
yeah,
Germantown,
the
the
Mickey's.
actual
Pennsylvania.
Czech
You can get
branic?
branic.
Oh no, they have exported.
Oh,
No,
In Germantown, Pennsylvania. That was where I saw it.
no.
Yes, they have. They've exported their weapon.
What? It's not even dark. How do you think
Because when I
it's soy
saw it, I thought it was
sauce?
soy
How do you
sauce.
spell this, Nate? I'm now curious.
What?
Branik? How do you spell Branik?
I thought it was a very light soy sauce.
BRAN long I and K.
Branik beer.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's got like one of those.
okay. So I'm looking
it's
at it
got like
right
one of those
now.
dashy dots on the top of the eye.
So I'm gonna put it in other images. Is this it right here? Hang on, other pictures. Yeah.
I am waiting there to see if you snatch the right.
Did I get the right
Yeah,
one?
okay. Yeah, I'm not sure which style of bottle I had, but yeah.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
honestly
that's the
one of
one
the
I
best
saw.
beers I've had. I don't really drink beer, but I would say Sapporo from Japan is really good. It comes in this interestingly shaped can, and it's named after the city of Sapporo in Hokkaido. Yeah.
Oh yes, where it looks
Yeah.
like the.
Yeah.
Talking
It
about
looks like
beers, this is the
a Guinness
the well,
bottle
one of
almost
the
with
best
flare
ones
on the
I
bottom.
had.
Why, you've had Sapporo as well?
No, I sent another pic.
Oh, Kozel?
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
black Kozel.
Yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It looks go ahead.
I can't remember. I can't remember who makes it. I know it's a Japanese beer. So I had it one time when I visited in. I want to say it was 2016. It was either late 2015 or 2016 when I went over for the December holidays with my buddy because I wasn't feeling going with my actual family, so I went with my buddy who's half Japanese to Japan. Which, oh my goodness, they celebrate Christmas.
And their
by
fried chicken is
fried chicken
karaage, the
for
tempura
Christmas.
fried
Yes,
chicken,
please.
right?
I'm okay with that. Went out and yes, but KFC is on point too.
Oh, dang.
KFC is huge. Was huge. At least it was when I went there. KFC had like Christmas combos. They had the Colonel Christmas family bucket, which was 2 of the massive chicken buckets and a bunch of sides, and it was the Christmas feast. And you had to pre-order it, and then you could go and pick up your Christmas feast from KFC.
Wait, morning?
and
They
that was
don't
what you would
eat
have,
it the evening
Christmas
off?
morning
Doesn't it get cold? What?
from KFC.
Yeah, but like, I don't know
Well, you
if
warm
you've
it up,
ever
so it has
warmed
instructions
fast
on it.
food
So you
but
stick it in and
the
you warm it.
quality plummets. It
Yeah, when you have to
plummets.
reheat it.
Oh, the
Mm.
quality of Japan's KFC is sit down restaurant quality. It's
Okay.
nothing like I've had in the States, and I've never been able to have Kentucky Fried Chicken the same ever since I went to Japan. It is absolutely amazing. But there,
Oh yeah, it still
Japan,
is.
I learned back then, also was really big into baseball. So there's a team there called the Tigers. They have their own beer. I think it's Hokkaido. I can't remember. But they have their own beer. So I had a can of their stuff. It's not good, but it's real funny because it has like the baseball team logo on it and tiger claws and all that other stuff on it. And it's just a neat little can. But I thought it was funny, like this
Huh.
baseball team has its own beer.
They do, eh?
And Japan has this huge beer culture that I never knew about. So when you think, usually when I thought beer,
What
always
about
think,
us?
Guinness
Bro.
or US. But Japan has a thriving beer culture. Europe has the classic beer culture. So if you're looking for the classic old style, the way beer should taste, and you're looking for the old country beers, you're looking for the Bosnian states, the Eastern European states, you're looking for German style, Czech style, Bohemian ales, you're looking for maybe West Russia off of there. The French maybe have it, but they're more of a wine country. The English are not really known for beers. There's more of a Pilsner-ish on it. So even though I'm not a big drinker anymore, I still appreciate like the history of beer and where it comes from and how the flavors interact with everyone and all the great styles and the artistry of beer. America has fallen away.
I mean,
I
yeah,
think,
with a
from
lot of
how
beer that
should
we
be
have
done,
is just straight
if I'm
up
being quite
piss.
honest.
It's like, and there's no
Yeah.
other way to describe it. Like,
Yes. I won't touch. I
Yeah.
really won't. If I have a beer, I will not touch an American beer. I hate to say it. My
Yeah.
rule of thumb,
It's
honestly,
just-
is if I put it
it's
in a glass and I can
literally
hold it up and look
the
through it, I
same
won't touch it.
color as urine as well. And that's, and on top of this, it has the same amount of like bubbles as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, it
What?
literally comes out the way it goes in.
That doesn't sound appetizing at all.
Yeah, like literally, you drink
Yeah.
American beer at all to get drunk.
It-
Like that's it. You just
there's no nose.
put it away as quickly as possible to get as drunk as humanly possible. And literally, people who actually drink American beer, they say that's the reason why they drink it. To literally just get drunk. You use it for beer pong, you use it for literally any other thing, but actually enjoying drinking it.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit Guinness is good.
I'll enjoy a good Guinness. You're never gonna see.
Yeah.
You know you're in.
and
PG
admittedly,
fraternity when your fraternity was using
something
Guinness
that
for beer
masks
pong.
the like a bad taste of beer is when, like with my drunk story, you drink it through an Irish car bomb. The Irish cream admittedly makes it go down smoother.
Oof. Yeah.
Then again, Irish cream, huh?
I got I got a question, I guess, for the group. What is the worst drink
Alcoholic or non-alcoholic?
you've ever
good
had?
clarification.
It could
Okay.
be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. The
Okay,
worst
I'll-
drink.
Now to
Yeah, the
get
worst
Andy
drink,
included
the
on
worst
in on
beverage.
this, what is the
Non-alcoholic or
worst
alcoholic?
non-alcoholic drink you've had, Andy? You actually hate Coca-Cola?
There's not that many. There's not that many different stuff that I would say that
For me,
I've
I don't think it's
tried, but,
disgusting,
I think
but I think it's
that's
way too sugary.
Coca-Cola is
It's
pretty
like-
disgusting.
Like, I remember even as a kid when I had
I
Coke,
ate most kinds of
my teeth felt
yeah.
like they were
drinks like
coated in
that.
sugar afterwards. Because like my teeth always felt
Yeah.
so gritty because that's basically just the sheer sugar content in a Coke. You know, it's
Also, Coke has like like this acid that reacts with your teeth. So yeah, that's
yeah.
another
I've
thing.
seen people actually clean their toilets with Coca-Cola
Okay,
because that is just
that's a
how
bit too
thick
much.
the acids and sugars are, and it just eats away at anything it touches.
Yeah, disgusting.
No,
It's
what is
like
that?
Boiled
has
egg?
anyone ever seen the
I
boiled
thought it was.
egg Coca-Cola
Uh-huh.
experiment? So if you take a hard-boiled egg and you stick it in a cup of any kind of a cola, it can be a generic, it could be Pepsi, it could be Coke, something to do with the acidity and the pH or whatever and the consistency
What?
of it. It will eat the eggshell off of the
Actually,
hard-boiled
it's
egg, and then you can,
finished.
and it takes maybe a couple
Yeah.
of weeks, I think it is. Yeah, it'll just eat the
Actually,
entire
it's
Yeah.
eggshell
pretty.
off, and then you can pull the
It's
rest of the egg out. And of course, the Coke is going to impermanate it, but it's absolutely crazy. So then you're just left with this squishy membrane coating from the
That is
interior of the
crazy.
eggshell
Yeah, but
with
it's actually pretty
the
common, like
egg
to do it
on
with
the
like
inside.
acidic like solutions, and more. It's even more fun if you just have a raw egg, because then you literally have like just this. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure if you can
Oh,
do
you could
it
do it with a
with
raw egg?
Coca-Cola, but
Oh
maybe.
my
But
goodness.
again, you want like some of I don't know what's a common household acid that can just like react with the with the calcium in the eggshell proper like faster. But yes, it's a very like common like I don't know like chemistry experiment
Hydrogen peroxide
experiment
maybe.
at least over here, just like again stick a raw egg in some like in a beaker of like or not a beaker. Wait, I am gonna Kajinka. How do you say that in English? Come on, load faster.
Um,
Duh, 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 duh,
but
duh.
yeah, the only way I
Okay,
drink
yeah,
Coke
it
is
is in a beaker. Okay, so yeah, so you again stick it in a beaker of like weak acid over the course of the lesson while you go over the like different chemical equations, and at the end, you have a raw egg without its shell, and it can bounce.
that is crazy. But that is the only way
Yeah,
I will drink Coke. Oddly, is with
I would
Jack
100% would bounce to that.
What's
mixing
Jack?
Jack Daniels. Yeah,
Oh, lol.
yeah.
Yeah, it's actually
It's a
one
cutting
of
like
the
Jack
like
Daniels
common
whiskey.
cocktails over here at least or again just
The honey
these
whiskey
weird
was
mixed
good.
drinks is Coke and rum.
Yeah, it's sort of like a. Oddly enough, Coke mixes better with alcohol than it does is drank by itself.
Mm,
I guess that's chemistry for you. You're mixing acids and bases.
I guess. Also, but this reminds me, on a holiday in Greece, I actually discovered a little bit of like a fun thing. They didn't have Coca-Cola, but they had like a just Coke-like drink in the at the hotel. And they
Mhm.
also had juice. And I just sometimes made this a little bit of a monstrous combination where I filled up the bottom of the glass with juice and the top with the with the Coke drink. And it stayed separated because it had different levels of thickness or
Yeah,
viscosity. Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
even though the juice was like run down with water because obviously they gotta save up, and yeah, it looked like it looked kinda maybe terrifying, like you wouldn't trust it, but mixed, I enjoyed it.
I mean, I mix like whenever I do like have a soda at like a restaurant. I actually mix up my drinks all the time. Lady Stone gives me crap about it because I'll mix stuff like Sprite and Diet Coke with like uh, high C fruit punch, and she's just looking at me like, ugh. And for me, huh?
Well,
I mean,
I think it's
that still
Italy.
makes sense. The flavors
Italy
are
does
you know,
espresso and Coke.
similar sorts of bitter. I mean, there's this meme.
You bitter?
Yeah, and I've
It's
done
sort of
that. It
like
worked.
a interesting bitter. It's like a I don't know what the right like way to describe Coke outside of its sugariness. Because it's sweet, but at the same time, it's like it's got this
Nice.
spice flavor. This is why I saw this meme that said Dr. Pepper is basically just barbecue flavored Sprite. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's actually kind of true. It's literally just a soda that tastes like you're drinking like a sweet barbecue sauce almost.
If you say so.
I mean, what's interesting though is that on our honeymoon we did go to the Dr. Pepper Museum, and they have this flavor laboratory, and it's interesting how flavors sort of work on your tongue, or even through your nose as well, because and it's also like what you see as the flavor as well, because they also dye them different colors before you taste them. So basically how the flavor laboratory worked was this. We sat down in this like row of chairs, and they introduced, the whole Dr. Pepper and how they come to these flavors and everything for their different sodas. And so then they passed out this little cup of like blue, like bubbly liquid. It was like it almost looked like a syrup. And so they're like, okay, before you taste it, smell it first. And I'm smelling this, and I'm like, this smells like almost like bubble gum, almost. And then they're like, okay, now try it. And I tried it, and I'm like, this tastes like a candy bubblegum flavor, And then they told us that was strawberry flavoring, and I'm like, what? Like, why did my mind convince itself that this is bubblegum flavored? And it's because of the blue coloring. It's like, because it was colored a different, color than the actual taste, your mind convinced itself of what the flavor would be. It's a really,
Yeah. True.
it's a really interesting thing that they did, and that's how they've
That's
come
wild.
to a lot of different, flavor combinations through all their different products. This is why.
Did you also tell them I was the only one that guessed correctly on Big Red's flavor?
Yeah, Sarah, she was the only one in the audience that correctly guessed like a different soda, because they also gave us like different sodas to try. And when she tried the Big Red soda that was colored differently, she correctly guessed that it was. And like the flavor laboratory people were actually pretty impressed, and it's because it's like, again, the color, it throws off your guessing mechanism for flavor and everything normally.
What-
They also
what-
asked what makes Big Red its flavor.
Yeah, and they also asked, they did ask us what makes Big Red have its flavor, and I can't remember exactly what they said. Do you remember?
Well, they said, do you know what the flavors are? I said, yes, orange, vanilla, lemon, and lime.
Yeah, orange, vanilla, lemon, and lime.
And they're like, how do you know that? No, it's like,
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and again, it's sort of your mind's perception of, how this is going to taste based on how it looks, and this is, again, partly why I think is also why American beer tastes so disgusting. It's because, yeah, it literally looks like piss, so everyone immediately thinks I'm drinking urine,
Lol.
and so your mind's
fat
like,
lol.
this is why. Like, Keystone beer has to be like the cheapest fucking beer ever. This is why Keystone beer is like $8 for like 12. They literally can't give that shit away.
Yeah. Or maybe that's also
Yeah.
the reason why America is more inclined to sell it in a
Yeah.
enclosed can that you can't see what it looks like, rather than a bottle. Like our can sales,
Yeah,
like completely
yeah, for real.
overshadow.
I
bottle
guess that's
sales per
what
capita.
I'll answer as my least favorite thing I've ever drank is that, like, when I was in college still, like, I went to a friend's house because it was when I was just trying to, I guess, socialize more to try to meet girls and stuff like that. And like they had Keystone beer, and I took one drink of that. And I'm like, dude, this is the most disgusting beer I've ever had. Why are you drinking this? Like to get drunk. I'm like, okay, I've heard of drinking to get drunk, but I'll pass in this case because it's like that was
Yeah.
that was vile.
Save your taste buds.
Yeah. Um, but Rabid, what's your you brought the question, so what's your least favorite drink? Alcoholic or non?
Yeah.
What was it?
My least favorite
What?
Modelo,
drink of
the
all
beer?
time is
Why?
Modelo. Is Modelo. Modelo
What's it
beer.
smell like to you?
Modelo beer. I cannot go near it. It's the smell.
Huh.
Oof.
It it's the smell. To me, it smells like vomit,
Sweet.
and I have no idea why. And I've tried to explain to people it smells like sweet vomit to me. And always,
Hmm.
it's always smelled. Modelo beer has always smelled like sweet vomit to me. And uh, like as soon as I smell it, like you can waft it below me, and I will just my gag reflex will hit completely, and I have no idea why. Because I've even had a buddy like he was like, "Oh, you're BSing. You just don't like Mexican beer." So he had uh like some red cups or whatever, and he grabbed like an assortment of beers or whatever, poured them all out. They're all similar colors, and I remember one of them was oh it was another Mexican beer with a Black Eagle. I like that one, and I'm just picking them up and sniffing it, and as soon as I grabbed the second cup, I just about chucked immediately. So I went, that's the Modelo. And then I grabbed the next one, which was the one with the Black Eagle on it, and went, oh, this is the, and I can't remember what it's called. It starts with the T. I went, oh, this is another Mexican beer, and it's also a little bit sweeter on the nose. But the Modelo,
Huh.
every single
Just
time I
just
smell that,
can't go near it.
it
Sort of
smells like sweet vomit.
like how I can't go near Keystone
I just
anymore.
can't. I just can't go near it.
Again,
I have no idea
that was the
why.
most disgusting beer I've ever put to my lips, or disgusting drink ever.
Right.
Okay, Nate, what's your least favorite drink?
Discounting
Mhm.
medicine, I think that or at least one of the what I can remember is this it was cold pressed, possibly juice made from apple and beetroot. I
Apple
thought
and
it was
beetroot?
gonna taste good because I had that combination from a different
Ooh.
brand before, and
Yeah, but
this
with
and I
beetroot,
liked it. What?
that's so bitter.
No,
Well, I get, but mixed with apple, I don't think that's a good combination. It's like bitter with tart.
no, again like the one that I had before. It was like very very yum, but
Hmm.
this one, like I don't know, the taste of the beetroot just overpowered everything and not in a good way. And it again, it wasn't the taste of the beetroot that I am used to. It was just kind of weird and watery in a way you wouldn't expect from that expensive of a juice. And yeah, so I powered through a glass, then it sat in my fridge for a little bit. I tried it with making it like a squash style, just a little bit on the bottom of the glass and fill the rest with water. Still didn't help, so I unfortunately just caved and poured majority of it down the drain.
Yeah, if you just can't get it down no matter what you do, then
Yeah.
that's
I
really all
did
you can do with it.
I gave some to my
I know.
plants,
I know.
so they can be a bit, yeah, they can get some nutrients out of it, hopefully. But yeah, rest had to go.
But okay, Lady Stone has her drunk story, and on top of this, you also have your least favorite drink story as well. I think you know the one I'm talking about. the grape and salt flavored thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
technically, this isn't my drunk story. It's just more of a memory with you.
Okay. Go
It
ahead.
was our first 4th of July together. Your dad invited us on his boat,
Yeah.
and you had only 2 Red Bull vodkas.
I had more to drink than that.
You had 2.
She's trying to make it like I'm some kind of lightweight.
You are lightweight. Compared to me, everyone is a lightweight. I have a special enzyme in my liver that processes alcohol. So anyway, it's also due to drug addicts and alcoholics. So you, on the other hand, don't have that.
Yeah. Shh.
So you had 2 Red Bull vodkas, and we're having a good time. But towards the end, as we're leaving, you stand up really quick, and you have this glazed look in your eye, and you do a face plant on top of your stepmother,
I know.
and because of that force, you make her fall down the stairs
Yeah.
of the boat.
Yeah.
And I was just standing there in shock. It's like, oh God, he has killed her.
Because to describe it, my stepmother is a wisp of a woman. She is like 95 pounds soaking wet.
If she's lucky.
Yeah, if she's lucky.
So it was just
And
like,
meanwhile, I'm sitting here like 250.
Oh heavens!
Wait, what was the weight again? I need to convert it into metric.
Again, my stepmother is 95, is like, if even 95 pounds. Whereas I'm 250.
Okay.
I think, what's pounds to kilograms in this case?
it's a lot, but
Let's see. Pounds to kilograms. Let me look that up real quick.
It's
But
usually it's like like half
43
the
kilograms.
pounds if you want kilos. What?
Yeah, it's 43.1 kilograms. It's 95 pounds. And I'm 250, so that is 113.4 kilograms. Anyways, so yeah, that's 114 kilograms landing on literally a third of that.
so anyway, I thought he killed her because it was very violent, and it was like,
I just fell over.
and your dad's freaking out, of course. I just stood there. I was like, this is great. I've witnessed my first manslaughter with this man. This is great. Oh, I can't wait to show up in court to tell them what happened. But she turned out to be okay and alive, so I was like, dang it.
But now on to your least favorite drink story. Again, with your colonoscopy, you had to do.
Oh yeah, I had to drink this stuff that basically had the texture of saliva. It was super salty and super sweet
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
with grape flavor.
Yeah,
And you have to mix it with cold water.
yeah.
And I tried chugging it really fast just to get it out of the way, but it made me want to puke
Yeah, you were crying by the end of it.
because it tasted so bad.
Yeah.
Plus, I was trying to hold down my puke, so it's like it wouldn't go to waste, or else I would never get the colonoscopy done.
Yeah.
So I was just sitting there in my misery going, you can do this. If you can eat terrible crap salad, you can drink this.
And you were crying, like you're actually dribbling a little bit.
Because it tasted so awful. It's like basically someone took salt and
Spit.
grape Powerade, swished it in their mouth, and spit it in your mouth.
Yeah.
So that's what it was like.
Yeah.
And I already can't do grape flavor anything anyway.
Yeah.
So that was even more torture. But it's like, you can do this. If you can have Dave's stupid salad, you can drink this down. If you can eat his chicken teriyaki in one bite, you can drink this. But I wouldn't say that's really a drink that anybody else would have.
Okay, then what's your least favorite drink that anybody else could get, like, on the market?
Besides beer.
Yeah, or it can be a beer, it can be anything alcoholic or non.
I don't like grapefruit juice.
Grapefruit juice.
I tried.
That's your least favorite like drink.
If we were stranded on an island, they said you have a choice of grape juice or grapefruit juice. I would choose grapefruit. I would choose grape juice.
Really? Okay. That's so. The only thing you hate worse than grape flavored things is grapefruit juice.
And I don't like beer or wine. To me, it just tastes like piss.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah. But honestly, I think like the best wine is like a good wine. But we're reaching that near hour point. So again, I always love having a full range of conversation on here. It's always good. So we'll wrap this up with closing thoughts. My closing thought when it comes to any drink or alcoholic or non is always make sure it's something you enjoy. That's for sure. Make sure it's something you actually enjoy drinking and you're not just drinking it because everyone else is doing it. That is the way to not have fun.
Also, don't drink if you're a mean drunk. Nobody likes you.
Yeah, especially if you're a mean drunk as well. Or again, a grabby drunk, like grabby in the wrong way.
Oh well.
Yeah, but I
I
only
have
grab correct.
I have several drunkenness stages. Funny.
But Andy, what are your closing thoughts on either drinking or your favorite or non-favorite drinks? Yeah, it's very concise, but I like it. Nate, your closing thoughts?
Drink responsibly. That's what
Good
I
shit, don't do
say.
it.
Just have a again fatty snacks, or if you can't have have them, just over drink on pure water. Even if you love, your body will thank you.
Yes, drink your goddamn water, kids. But funny thing is that in I just finished KCD 2, and it's awesome. But Rabbit, did you see the?
That was fast.
I wanted to play through it first before I stream it.
Oh,
And I
Oh,
just love the hell out of both games, so I know I'm going to play them multiple times. But Rabbit, you saw the ending scene with Dry Devil, right? and the crossbow.
yeah. Yes. Alcohol that feeds into what alcohol will lead into
Yeah.
the most unexpected turn of events. Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. Um it leads to stories both good and bad. But you don't necessarily have to be drinking to have a good time at all. No harm in being sober, especially on a St. Patty's Day, because everybody needs a designated driver, especially the ones that are insisting, no, I'm
wow.
good, I drive
And
better
in the
when
case
I'm
of
drunk.
Jan
They
Žižka,
are the
don't
worst
convince
drivers,
yourself that letting
and
your
everyone
drunk
around them
friend
knows
shoot an
it.
apple off your head with a crossbow while drunk is a good idea.
What? You're telling me the legend Jan Žižka is in the game?
Yeah.
Yo! Hell
Yes.
yeah!
Yes, Jan
Yeah.
Žižka is in the
I don't
game,
know who the Dry Devil is, but I know Jan Žižka.
and the Dry Devil.
But they're best friends in the game.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. All right, then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Nate, go ahead and close us out.
Goodbye, pebbles across. Fuck. Goodbye, pebbles across all platforms. This has been the Idiots Podcast.